This is part two of the How Do You Really Feel presentation. I love this quote that comes from Pema Chodron's book. A Native American grandfather said, "When you're in a tight spot, there are two wolves fighting in your heart, the wolf of patience, courage, understanding, and kindness, and the wolf of impatience, anger, and aggression. The one that wins is the one you choose to feed." And that's a little bit of what this self-workshop does for you. It helps you kind of be with both sides of ourselves sometimes. Pema continues to elicit some language around how to think about our emotions and how we can just be with ourselves to bring out the natural intelligence, natural warmth, natural openness and goodness. And that is a little bit what I use the language here from Pema in the tool that I created. And it's a way of just being with yourself and bringing out the instinctual nature of who we are by being with the emotional radar that comes with us. So the workshop is really really these three things, excuse me, by being with our feelings now, by uncovering our radar, and then making choices that we would rather have. Now, you don't have to be a Buddhist in order to get something out of the messages that are there for us. Buddhism is a tradition, a religious tradition. It is also a psychology or philosophy. And Buddhism encourages us to never reject what is problematic, but rather to become very familiar with it. And that's what we're doing with emotions. We're in this particular workshop that I have posted, being with it. So we're trying to acknowledge our hooks. And it's the challenging emotions that are difficult, because I'm not trying to hone in only on what people may call negative emotions, because I don't actually think there are good ones and bad ones. They just are. But we want to experience them fully. And it is the challenging ones that we tend to have some problems with. So we don't need to act them out or repress them. We can actually use them and get information from them for ourselves. But we have to be in that kind of silent place, contemplative state. And so this workshop is really doing that without too much thinking. One of the things that I really talk about after you kind of get a sense of the chart is a three-pronged step where once we're feeling something in our body and being aware of that, we stop, we allow for a gap, and acknowledge sometimes a hook. Especially if we do it over time, we'll see some patterns, and then we'll know, oh, stop. Not so far off of, counting to 10 before we react, but this gives you a little bit more and a little more insight into who you are and what you may want to be doing with some of these emotions maybe down the road. In some cases, you really do want to do something with them. Not necessarily the emotions per se, but what they mean to you and what it might mean in the context of a situation. Secondarily, we breathe. That just helps us to relax and just open ourselves and lean into the energy. And finally, we just really identify what it is we're feeling. So a few more steps after that around what is an emotion about, or what is a feeling about. And is there anything we can do about it? And those are portrayed in the steps that I have posted. Finally, I have created a chart that is divided into 4 quadrants with a scale of emotions from fear down here at 22 over to joy here at 1, joy and love. And it's not a linear process, as I've said a few times, but it helps you to move to better states of sensations that you'll probably prefer to feel. Most of us prefer to feel in this sunny area, but we don't. So the other segments will help you go through these words, and these are the words that when we really just look at them, we don't have to think, how do I feel? We spend the time just looking at it and identifying it and then being with it. And these words actually come from the Hicks and Hicks, Abraham Hicks scale, which I superimposed on this model. Okay.